We are freezing for a reason, rocking for the hungry, and we've got a special guest with us right now. It's Dr. Ray Rion. He's the executive director and family medicine physician at Packard Health, which is a nonprofit community health center with locations in Washtenaw County, Ann Arbor, and Ypsilanti. So, Doctor, what does Packard Health do, and how do you work with food gatherers?
Packard Health is a primary care office, so cradle, actually conception care to grave. We do prenatal care all the way to geriatric care. We also do a lot of behavioral health, both psychiatric care as well as therapy. And we also do a lot of addiction treatment. So we've got medication for addiction. We're really struggling with society with the opioid epidemic still.
Okay.
So a real broad
You're
list
kind of
of
covering
services.
everything.
Yep.
And people need everything. So it kind of works out that way. So you've been working with food gatherers for a few years now. And what are some of the ways that they help you meet your needs? Like, what are you said you have some numbers. Like, what are some of the numbers in the way that food gatherers has helped you?
Yeah, so we started working with food gatherers in 2007.
Okay.
And let me tell you, it has been so beneficial. And so we take care of a lot of patients who have low income. The inflation that we've had has really made buying good food very expensive. And we've seen the quality of the food that we get from food gatherers go up consistently. In fact, right now, almost 15% of all the food that they give us is fresh produce. And a lot of people struggle. I don't know if people are familiar with the idea of a food desert, like Detroit.
Yep.
There was, no grocery stores, and a food swamp where you get the convenience store food. So food gatherers really helps us with that. And then we have worked with them over the years, and the quality of the food has gone up dramatically. So it's much healthier food than we were getting back 15, 20 years ago. And it's a huge, huge service for our diabetic patients. We have formula for young women who are raising babies, as well as supplements even for our geriatric patients. So those are three big groups of patients that really benefit.
And we were talking about this earlier with our previous guest about how important it is, like the nutrients you get from produce. It's really hard to replicate that with other foods, and so many other foods that'll say that, well, they're rich in this and rich in that, but they're also rich in a lot of bad things too. But so the produce, fresh fruits and vegetables are really important for people's health and development, especially younger and older patients.
Yeah. That old saying, you are what you eat.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And, and part of it is, they say an apple a day keeps the doctor away. There's a kernel of truth to that, certainly. And so that helps you. It's like, if people are eating better, they have fewer other illnesses and fewer things. But what are like some of the stories about the impact that food gatherers has had with you, like more directly, like sharing any specific stories?
Yeah, well, I'll give you a story today. I was seeing a gentleman who happens to be, between, he's in a rough living situation right now. And before he left, he took a bag full of groceries home with him. So, you have people with unstable housing. You have people maybe when you combine that with a health condition as well. And then, a lot of the income in our society is partly related to age. So a lot of younger people are struggling with income issues too. So you have young families, and we can give them formula.
Well, housing has gone through the roof, and it's outpaced cost of living like so much that it's like, you see this all the time. People will have a good job, but they can't find good housing. And they'll have a good job. So they need assistance in other places so they can spend the money on decent housing. And that's where an organization like Food Gatherers comes in. So tell me some of the numbers. You've got some of the numbers with them.
Last year, Food Gatherers gave to Packard Health 80,000 pounds of food. That is, it was about $150,000 worth of food and 63,000 meals.
63,000 meals. That's very substantial. And so, have you noticed, like in the last year, or especially really the last 3 years, the increase in need? Like, as we still haven't stabilized completely
Not,
from
not in the
2020.
least. So, our economy is supposed to be doing better. I tell you, the demand for our food pantry has continued to skyrocket. It's gotten so busy, we're even having to adjust our staffing to try to meet the demand for patients. I think we had this idea everything was going to go back to normal after the pandemic, and it's
And
just
we're
something
still looking
different.
for that.
Yeah.
And there's a situation, and I've been here where, I've had a job and I was doing all right. And then I'm walking down the hall one day and then boom, there goes my knee and there goes my savings gone because I needed sudden knee surgery, something you weren't planning for. And a lot of people face things like that where they're stable a little bit, but one big thing happens, you know, they have to pay for a car repair so they can go to their job, and that's something that's very immediate. And then their entire financial balance is completely changed. And that's why food gatherers and having an organization like yours, where people can try to help address some of the more like day-to-day health issues so they can avoid some of the major health issues later.
Yeah, and what we've learned, and it took organized medicine a long time to learn this, but when your housing and your food situation and your security is insecure, people do not have any bandwidth left to deal with their medical problems.
Yeah.
Their attention is all focused on that until those problems are solved.
The maintenance health and the preventative health that we all need to take care of to make sure that we don't have that big health bill coming later, and they can't do that because they can't afford it. So
Yep.
that's really important. So if somebody was seeking you out, where can they find you, or how can they find you?
We've got 3 locations west side of Ann Arbor on Stadium and Pauline, one on Carpenter Road, and one over in Ypsilanti by Prospect in Michigan.
Okay.
We have our website, phone numbers on there. Give us a call.
And what is your website?
It's www.packardhealth.org.
So packardhealth.org is where to look for. And Dr. Ray Rion, thank you for coming by and helping out for food gatherers. It's such a benefit. And remember that Food Gatherers helps out over 140 organizations like Dr. Ryan's. And that's why the need is so great this year. And you can step up. Remember, $1 equals 4 meals. It's 2 meals, but then everything's being matched 1 for 1. So $1 is 4 meals. And we know how well that food gatherers can stretch that dollar out with all the deals they've made, and they know where to find the food and where to rescue the food. And that's why the need is greater than ever. You can go to Rockin' for the Hungry. You can find it online by going to foodgatherers.org. And thank you for stopping by. We really appreciate it. We've got music coming up. We'll have fun next. We're always having fun. We're Rockin' for the Hungry with 107.